Welcome back to another episode of Excuse My Grandma. It's Kim and my co-host,
Grandma Gail.
So, Grandma, what's new with you?
What's new with me? Well, I've had a really nice week. I've stayed out east the whole week because of the heat in New York was just so terrible for me last week. I couldn't walk around, so I came out here, and it was equally as hot, so it didn't matter. It's just hot all over. But I've had fun. Met a couple of friends for lunch, and then we ended up playing a little bit of cards, and I was winning. I haven't played cards in so long, I thought I'd forget how, but it came back to me.
So it's still exciting, even though the plan is always cards and lunch?
Well, it's always exciting because somebody's got a conversation that you're dying not to hear.
Yeah.
So you end up listening and saying to yourself, why am I listening to this nonsense? But you know what? It's fun to be with people that that I know for many, many years. And it's what would you call it? Camaraderie, and which makes you think a little more about what's happening in the world and your surroundings.
Well, I had house guests this past weekend, 2 girls from college. I went out 5 nights in a row, which...
I can't believe you could do that, especially since you go out till 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. It's one thing if it was dinner and you're home by 10.
Totally. And people who follow us and know me know that that's not the norm for me. I like to go to bed early. I don't like to stay out too late.
Well, you need your beauty rest because we're on TV all the time and we're on our phones all the time taking pictures. So you need make sure you look fresh.
Yeah. And I just, I am an old soul. I don't know if I love partying at bars until
Well, this
later.
was a music place that you went to. It was
I went to
bands,
the same place
it?
3 nights in a row,
Oh
which
my
also
gosh.
made it hard. If people are familiar, there's this place out in the Hamptons called Stevens Talk House. It's a bar. I met the manager actually because I was like, this is my 3rd night in a row.
You're his best friend.
Yeah. So that was fun. And there was one night there was a bachelor party of 18 31-year-olds.
Oh.
So my friends were happy and they were all hockey players. So we talked to them.
But they didn't have a music night that night. I know
It's
one
always
night you
music.
had
It's always
music. Okay.
And
I know
then
you had
they were
an
like,
ABBA night.
oh, tomorrow night we rented a bus and we're going to take it out to Montauk if you want to come. But then they never followed up about it.
Oh,
I also don't know if we would have done it.
Okay. All right. But at least you had some fun. And the girls had a good time out here because they're not from this area.
Yeah, they had a good time. It was actually interesting. One of my girlfriends just finished business school. She's in the South, and she was saying how different it is in the South, on so many levels. And so she was like, oh, finally I'm back, and I feel at peace with my friends again, y'all. But yeah, and actually we played this really funny game. I wonder what you would think of this. When we go to a bar, my friend created this where we were like, okay, we're going to set a timer for 5 minutes. And if a guy comes and talks to us within the 5 minutes, she wins. And she has to say, okay, now you go up and talk to somebody. And if my bet is no one will come up to us in 5 minutes. And if that's true, then she has to go up and talk to somebody.
All right.
And she wins every time.
She wins. All right. Well, she's played this game before, so she knows the percentages probably.
You just have to get creative because otherwise you're just standing in a bar and how fun could that be?
No, I don't think it's much fun at all. And I hope you didn't have more than your 1 drink limit, which we've sort of put on. No, more than 1 drink?
I stayed around there. It wasn't too bad.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then I even went out Sunday night to this kind of through a Jewish organization, this singles event on Sunday, and it was very nice. But the one person I thought I knew going had a family emergency, so she couldn't come.
No, I hope everything's all right.
And she loves you, by the way.
Oh, she.
Yeah, but so I was like, okay, I guess I'm going alone, and I do not like to walk into parties alone. But after 5 days of socializing, I was like, I can do it. I know how to talk to people, but it's still nerve-wracking, to just walk in.
Well, you know what? You have enough confidence now. You do, but it is hard. It's hard for anybody to walk into a room full of people. I went to a dinner party Saturday night. It was fabulous.
But Poppy came. Yeah,
well,
so you're never
naturally
alone.
No, I'm not alone, but the way the hostess does it, she never puts you with your partner, which makes it a little more interesting since you've sat with your partner for the last 100 days.
Right.
So my table was the best table. We had a senator from Florida, a representative from Florida at the table. We had some businessman. We had an economist. So we had the most interesting conversation. And of course, it all came down to New York and what's going on in the city and security and whatever. And there were some constructive ideas that went around the table. But when you have that kind of evening and you have that kind of chemistry, it makes it fun to go out. It's different, and it's just not talking nonsense. And I came home and I was really very stimulated. I really must say I enjoyed it immensely. I told my hostess she always puts the best group together, which is that is an art in itself.
Yeah.
Putting people together.
Yeah, are you good at that?
Not as good as this woman. She really, well, first of all, she's a businesswoman, and she's very active in many different organizations, including art institutions. So she has a very wide range of people to pick from.
Right.
And so that no evening ever goes just with ordinary couples that you would maybe go to a movie with. There's always somebody stuck in there that's thought-provoking.
So seating arrangement plays a part too, because
Absolutely.
you have to think about how each personality would get along.
Correct.
And
I think we had a better table than anybody else.
Okay.
I was with the hostess. So somehow I like my table better than the other tables.
That's an interesting thing when someone hosts a party. Like if you're put next to the host or near the host, like
you feel a little special.
You feel better about yourself.
Right. Except in this case, what she did, she moves, around during the evening. So she went from table to table.
Right.
So, which, was very smart because the tables weren't big. There were 3 tables of 8, and she went, different courses. She sat at a different table.
Okay.
So
yeah,
it was good.
I mean, it's a good rule of a host also to like bop around
yes, absolutely.
their party.
Absolutely. Otherwise, people feel slighted.
Yeah. I feel like I would not feel great about myself if I didn't hang out with the host at all, or like.
Well, it's not a matter of hanging out. It just makes you feel like she's put the effort in that she wants you there.
Yeah, right. That
Absolutely.
makes sense.
Absolutely. So it was a great weekend. We had beautiful weather, very nice weather. And I'm trying to think of what I did. Yesterday, I have to admit, I binged on a program. So I sat in the house from about 3 o'clock till 6 o'clock watching this program. It was great fun. My grandson got me hooked on it. It's about short selling, and I know nothing about it. So it was very, very interesting.
What's it called?
The Short.
Oh,
and it's
I've heard
on
of that.
HBO Max, and it was very interesting because it's a documentary.
Okay.
And for something I really don't know anything about, and it's always in the newspaper, and it was interesting. He gets me all involved in all these different programs that I would never normally.
Well, here's the difference between me and you. You watched Shorting Stocks documentary. I couldn't get off TikTok because this University of Alabama is having their sorority rush, and all of the girls are posting every day saying, "Okay, now I'm going to this house. This is what I'm wearing." It's so entertaining, these girls.
Well,
it's
it's
like,
entertaining
my
because
necklace
you
is
live
from
through it.
Target. My dress is from Target. My jewelry is from Kendra Scott, and it's hilarious.
Kim, I think it brings back memories.
No, because Cornell was not like Alabama. They
No,
take it
but you
so
had well, they take it very seriously.
Yes.
And they don't live in their sorority houses because it's I know that
considered a brothel.
Exactly, in the South, whereas you lived in your sorority house.
Yep.
And it wasn't a brothel.
No.
Far from it.
I guess. I mean, yeah, I didn't love living in a sorority house. I was actually talking about this with my girlfriends who came for the weekend. We were like so nervous to we would always text each other like, when dinner was happening, like, are any of you guys going to be sitting at the dinner table? Because it was so cliquey with some of the girls.
Well, that's very bad. That was your class.
Yeah.
I mean, I lived in a sorority a million years ago, and we used to eat dinner, and we never thought about it. Dinner time came, we went downstairs.
Yeah, there were times I was at a table alone, and like people would pull up a chair to another table that was already full.
Oh, how uncomfortable is that?
So uncomfortable. It's
All
so
right.
silly.
Well,
But,
I don't think I would.
so I do not. I'm living through the Alabama girls, but I also do not envy them.
No, I think that stage has passed.
But then there is this one guy who must identify as a woman, or I'm not exactly sure, but he was able, or she was able to go through Rush for the sororities, but didn't get any bids.
Well, it's
which was
very
kinda
sad.
sad.
That's very sad.
I know.
And I don't know what the answer is to this. It's like the swimmer who's at Penn, who's, became a woman from a man, and they're of course angry because she is able to physically do things that her female counterparts can't do because of her physical strength. It's a very tough call now, and we're going to have to reckon with that in the next few years.
Yeah,
we're going to have to all deal with that kind of thing because, especially your age is probably dealing with it, but certainly kids in high school and college are dealing with it more. And my grandchildren, friends who have grandchildren or have to deal with all this. So it's a serious conversation, and nobody really has a real grip on it. We don't know where to go with it.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see, but it was just an interesting thing to like see through TikTok.
Well,
also.
You know what? The other thing is, and I'm not saying one way or the other. If let's say a man or a person wasn't comfortable and changed their identity somewhere along the way, perhaps the other people, either in the sorority or the fraternity, are not comfortable with that.
If they're not living in the houses and like naked together, then who cares?
I don't know. I find it's a question for 2023. 2022 is almost gone. We're not going to think about
We're
it
only
this year.
halfway through.
Yeah, but even though halfway through, we really have to sit down, and they have to really start thinking it through on a government level, on a health level, how to deal with this.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to talk about our topic of the week for dating.
Okay.
A soft launch versus a hard launch. Do you know what that is?
I know what it is in products, but I don't know what it is in dating.
Similar. Okay. So when you show someone you've been dating on social media for the first time. So for example, if it's a soft launch on my Instagram story, I would maybe not post their face, but maybe it's of the food and then that we're on a date and then I'm just tagging the person's name. Or it's like the side of their face, or we're in a group or something. That's like a soft launch. A hard launch is like you're posting a photo with the person you're dating on your feed with a caption making it very clear this is my new partner that we're dating. Also with no other previous indication that you weren't single. So it's kind of coming out of nowhere and saying this is my new boyfriend or girlfriend. Okay. So what are your thoughts? Like, which
my
would
thoughts,
you do? Yeah.
My thoughts are clearly a soft launch shouldn't be on it at all, because you're just starting to go out with somebody. And I don't think it's everybody else's business who's on social media to either critique the girl or the fellow, depending on the person, about your date. I mean, what appeals to one person might not appeal to 500 others, and it's nobody's business. When you're now dating for real and you've made a commitment to each other that you're, what do you call it? Exclusive. If the person does not like to be on social media, you have to respect that. If the partner who you're with likes it and thinks it's fun, then it's fine. Take a date when you take a picture when you're out in a restaurant or on the beach or in the city walking around. If you're at a fair or just walking.
So you're saying as soon as you're official, you can do that.
I think you can do it if your partner approves.
Yeah.
I think it has to be a two-way street. Because by and large, what you're going to get from this is a lot of feedback from total strangers, and
mostly people who you're friends with.
Well, all right, but
unless you're a celebrity.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Somehow we've all become celebrities in this world.
True.
Because everybody's on their phone 24/7.
Like my personal account is still a public account. Like anyone can look.
Yeah,
because I work in media,
right,
but my friends don't really have that.
Exactly. And I think you have to be careful. Once you put yourself out there with somebody, you have to be willing to take criticism from other people who are total strangers and might not know your partner. Yeah. So I don't like
and they're going to press on that person if they do have an Instagram and you tag them and stalk them.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of negatives. I think if somebody really wants to be in social media for whatever reason, a lot of people do it because of their job, like you do. Other people just like it to take pictures and show everybody. Because everybody else,
it's because everybody else does.
Then do it of yourself. I don't think necessarily as a couple you need to do.
Yeah.
That
with
would
my
be
last ex, I never posted on Instagram.
Yeah, I don't think you really
but
should.
I do feel like if you're excited about someone, and let's say it's like you're always posting, oh, this is my weekend with my friends, and it's like, well, where's your boyfriend?
Well, I don't think anybody has to know that. I mean, your boyfriend is there for you to know and not for somebody else to guess.
Okay.
That would be my take on that subject.
That's fair. Let's move on to the next thing. I thought it would be fun to play like a game on our podcast every so often. I was trying to think of what games we could kind of play, but maybe this one's kind of like a get to know you most likely between the two of us for maybe new people tuning in or just to get to know us better. I have some options here of questions, and we can chat about it.
Okay, so let's hear the first one.
Okay, the first one is, who's the better dancer?
Between you or me?
Yeah.
Well, I think you probably. I think
neither of us are.
Well, neither one of us are
particularly
terrific.
good.
No, neither one of us are going to get Dirty Dancing awards.
No.
I mean, we're all right.
Although the dream is to do the jump from
I
Dirty
know
Dancing.
That would be everybody's dream.
I know.
But we need Patrick Swayze, and unfortunately, he's not going to be here anymore.
And if he is, be worried.
Exactly.
Because you're not in the place where you think you are.
Exactly.
Okay, who's the better cook?
I think I am.
Yeah.
But you're getting there. And by the way, we just did a TikTok on making potato pancakes. So and it's a very easy recipe for all millennials and Gen Z and even older people who don't know how to cook. Just do it. It's so easy.
Yeah, because we love the idea of sharing recipes that are kind of passed down culturally and that I got from my grandma and
I got from my mom.
Exactly. And maybe you guys can also tell us some things that you've made with your grandparents, and we could try to make those recipes too.
Yeah, I think our next thing is going to be a brisket, but we have to let it get a little. Well, we also have to let it get a little cooler. I'm making brisket when it's 90 degrees out.
Yeah,
sort of a fall recipe.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, who's more affectionate with a partner?
I don't think either one of us.
We're
maybe
not.
You,
like, probably
maybe you.
Me.
Yeah, you. I'm not.
You're
into
not
the,
affectionate.
I'm not into the lovey-dovey stuff.
I've never even. Yeah, you don't hold hands or
no,
anything.
No. Well, maybe I did when I was 20. But I haven't done it in a long time.
Yeah, so probably me. Who's more needy?
Definitely you.
It's no question.
Definitely you.
Yeah.
But in a good way. Not in a whiny, disgusting way.
I'm not needy in relationships, actually. I don't think. I feel like I'm more needy with like you and my mom.
Well, no, I think the needy part comes in what outfit I should wear, which is so ridiculous. In the big decisions that you're very good at.
I have to ask every single time I put on clothes.
Well,
that's bad.
It's bad. You got to correct that.
Yeah.
But it makes good TV.
I guess so. Good videos for Instagram. Right. Who is more likely to get arrested?
Definitely not me.
I don't think I am either,
I don't think you are either.
We're both rule followers.
Yes, we are. We're both rule followers.
Who's more of a planner? We're both kind of planners.
We're both planners.
But probably you, right?
Yeah, well, I like organization. I like to know what I'm doing. It doesn't have to be minute by minute or hour by hour, but I do like to have a plan. I find it frustrating if I don't get the things done that I want to do, and you have to really put it down in the diary or wherever you do your programming and follow it. So I guess me. But you're pretty good at it, too.
Yeah, I mean, I look at my calendar nonstop, and I like to know plans in advance, especially with dating. Like, if you ask me, oh, are you around next week? Like, that's not a plan. Like, it has to be like Tuesday, 8 p.m., this place. Right. Otherwise, I get anxious.
I think that's fair, though.
Yeah.
I think it's fair on a dating level and also on whether older people make an appointment to go someplace. You have to know when you're doing it, not say, oh, well, let's do it next week. Mm-hmm. Well, when next week?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's
flaky. You have to bring it down into reality and put it on the calendar.
Mm-hmm. Who is friendlier?
I think me.
Wait, I think me.
Really? Okay.
Well, I don't know. I think you're more outgoing. Like, you'll talk to more people.
Okay. That's true. But I think maybe
Actually,
you like
I don't
relationships.
know.
I know. I think we're both the same.
You're very friendly to like strangers, which is great. But then also you can be like not nice. Very mean. And I'm never mean.
No, you're right. I'm much more cutting than you.
Yeah.
That's true.
Who orders more packages?
Definitely you. I can't stand ordering anything. I mean, now it's getting so that those boxes come in from Poppy because he orders toothpaste on Amazon. I don't understand the whole thing. But anyway, he loves getting his packages, and so do you.
Yeah, but he's funny because didn't one time he ordered in bulk by accident?
Oh, my gosh. Well, he pushed 2 boxes instead of he thought it was 2 packages in one box. So we had so much Kleenex.
It was like 100 per box or something.
I think it was He's still unloading the boxes. We still haven't unloaded the second box.
No, I think it was napkins.
Yes, napkins, but you should know he just did it now on toilet paper. Trust me, it keeps going on. Because it's not always clear, But I have to tell you, he did order me something that was very interesting. I had 2 old Lucite chairs. For those people who have no idea what I'm talking about, it's chairs that like pull-up chairs, like club chairs, but they come in clear Lucite. They're very pretty. I bought them years ago in New York. when a store was going out of business. And I said to Poppy, I'd love 2 more of these chairs. So he said, well, I have to go and look at them. He went and he brought the chair over to the computer area. And sure enough, he found the exact, well, maybe not the same exact screws on the chair, but almost identical chairs, same height, same width. And he ordered them last Thursday and he got them Saturday morning.
So
it was
2
like the
days.
greatest thing ever.
Yeah.
At the front door. So it is so easy to.
And no, Amazon did not sponsor this podcast.
No, they are not
but we're
sponsoring,
obsessed
but
with
we
them.
are very obsessed with their ability to just do the right thing all the time.
Okay, last one is who's more likely to get lost?
Me.
What?
Or you too. We both have terrible
Yeah.
sense of directions.
Yeah.
But you use Waze.
I use Google Maps.
Right. And I can't even figure out. My phone doesn't work in half the places I go because there's no reception.
Mm-hmm.
If you go further than east than Bridgehampton out here,
But
there's
in the
no cell
city,
service.
well, I guess you're not really driving in the city, but
No, I don't drive in the
Yeah.
city. And I don't get lost in the city because I've been in the city all my life and I know every neighborhood.
you don't get lost in Florida because it's so small.
Yeah. Well, where we live,
Yeah,
it's
the
so
town.
small.
Yeah.
It's a small area. You can't get too lost.
Yeah. I can get lost if you drop me on 80th and I'm supposed to get to 82nd.
Yeah, you
so.
always had a problem with avenues.
I know.
Even when you were a little girl, Mommy used to quiz you and say, now give me the name of the streets.
Yeah.
From Fifth
Well,
Avenue
no, that was like a
West
year
and
ago.
Fifth Avenue. It wasn't a year. I'll never forget when you started walking. I think you were 11 years old
Yeah.
to school. You'd sort of get lost on Lexington Avenue.
You know what I think it was? I didn't have glasses yet.
Oh,
so I think I couldn't see to the end of the street.
that could be a possibility. It's could definitely be the reason.
Okay, we're going to answer some listener questions that you wrote in on Instagram. And we're so happy that our Instagram family has grown so much as well. We're at like over 110,000.
We're so excited. So keep watching.
And if you don't follow us on TikTok and you do on Instagram, you should follow us on both accounts because we post different things. Okay. Question number 1. Grandma Gail, what is your secret to a lasting marriage?
We've answered this so many times, but I think it's to be nice to each other and sort of listen to the other person. There are a lot of different ingredients that go into a relationship. So you have to sort of give everybody their little bit of space and be kind to one another.
Mm-hmm. Advice for newlyweds.
Well, I don't think newlyweds need much advice. They should just enjoy each other and have your good sex while it lasts and just have fun together, because then as the years go on, things get more complicated. When you're newly married, everything should be wonderful. And if it's not, then think about why it's not and ask for some help.
Advice for making friends in the suburbs. I'm moving with my husband from New York City.
Well, I love the suburbs since I lived there a lot of my growing up years. The advice is that you're gonna meet people, whether it be through a church or synagogue or an art community, or there are smaller groups that will meet, and you should become part of it. So that, and especially if you have a young family, you'll definitely be part of the community because of the schools. But just reach out to your neighbors and be open to new experiences.
And also, I have never lived in the suburbs, so I can't really comment, but I feel like expect things to be like there's an adjustment of lifestyle too. Like you can't just order Postmates like anytime that you want, or like walk around the corner for something. Like I feel like everything's more of a budget more time. Maybe.
Well, I think you have to go in your car a little more, which a lot of people don't mind. But it's definitely less, and it's less stressful. So I think you get pluses in one area and minuses in another. So, but just go about it positively, because could be a wonderful new experience.
Question for Gail: how long do I wait for a ring?
Well, I wouldn't wait that long, but you see, I'm in the minority now.
You used to say 6 months, but
well,
that's nothing.
I actually still believe if you're going out with somebody for maybe 6 or 8 months, if the ring doesn't come soon, I'm not interested. Or if it's not it doesn't have to be a ring. It just has to be a moment of commitment that we are going on the right path. A ring is just a symbol. But if
Right.
and sometimes you can't afford a ring, so
And
you know
now-
what, you can get a cigar band. I was engaged with my mother-in-law's graduation ring. She went to a small girls' school, and I got her ring, and I didn't get a diamond ring for several months. It didn't bother me. I knew I was committed to my husband to be, and he was committed to me. So I think it's the commitment.
Yeah.
And it has to be ongoing, year in, year out. The people that live together and have no further commitment, to me, it's just a waste of time, unless that's where you want to stay.
Okay, how do you improve understanding between generations? I think we want to do a whole episode on this soon.
I think so.
Because it's a broad question that, like, in every category of life can be answered differently.
I think it's a lot of listening.
Yeah.
Right, Kim?
Yeah. Understanding and is definitely listening a lot of the time. And even if you are hesitant to agree to something right away, to know the other perspective.
I don't think you have to agree. I think you just have to listen to it. And, that's the same. I'll take this one step further. That's the same of what should be going on college campuses. It should be listening to other opinions, not only one opinion, because that doesn't make for an interesting relationship, and it doesn't make for an interesting education. We have to be open up about different ideas.
How to dress on a budget.
That's so easy today. That, to me, is one of the easiest questions to answer. You, first of all, go in your closet, readdress the things that you have, and edit the things you have. There's really a lot of stuff that you thought would never go again, goes. Put on an old shirt with a new pair of pants, or vice versa. Certainly, all these things online, Amazon, Target, they all have wonderful, Kohl's, TJ Maxx, they all have wonderful looks and for very good prices. And I don't think you have to have exorbitant things to make you look fashionable.
Yeah. My favorite thing is to get like a set. I found like all these like really cheap sets online, but it looks like you have a put together outfit when the top and the bottom matches.
Right. Keep it simple and accessorize, or just, wear a scarf the way you, a little different scarf around your neck or around your shoulders or
also, yeah, I feel like, especially if you do want to keep up with the trends, wearing Zara or like any of the fast fashion brands that are kind of on the cheaper side of things, like
just buying just one new thing is just enough to make you feel like you're in with the trend, and buy something that's a little way out, that pushes you out of your boundary, your comfort zone. I think that would be fun for each of us to do this fall.
Yeah. So many people always want to know about my mom, your daughter.
Well, she's the greatest,
and
but she's camera shy.
Yeah, but everyone is like, show her on a video, tell us something about her. At some point, we have to, I think.
I don't think she's
ready. It just
ready.
has to be the right moment.
Right, she's not ready for her debut yet.
Yeah.
But soon.
Yeah, and someone said, like, does your mom get jealous or envious of what we're doing? Like, no.
She loves it.
Happy and supportive, and she's filming us most of the time.
Right, exactly. She's somewhat in our ear all the time.
Oh my God, I'm laughing. What does Grandma think about foot fetishes?
I have no idea. The only foot fetish I have is I happen to like a foot massage, but I don't know anything about it. I can't give any advice on that. Just make sure you have a good pedicure then.
Okay, we haven't given you guys a 1950s movie recommendation in a while. So this week we're going to do River of No Return, 1954. Marilyn Monroe, Robert Mitchum, Tommy Rettig, Rory Calhoun.
That was a terrible movie.
She's just, I feel like there was some good songs. If you like a Western.
Right. Well, I used to love Westerns.
And I feel like she had some good costumes. I would watch it just to look at Marilyn.
Oh, she was so beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry that wasn't a raving review, but I liked it.
Okay.
Thank you guys for tuning in once again. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok.
And also, tell us if you really enjoy. We've had so many requests to do solo every few episodes. We'll do a one-on-one with each other because we sort of like to do it, and we yak it with each other anyway all the time. So we can record it. Just let us know if it's something that you would like more of.
Okay, we will see you next week.